Okay, so for a long time I've been seeing these memes on Facebook, and even before then we just called them pictures with really cool subtitles or whatever. But memes on Facebook, and they would say something along like, usually there's a picture, and it would be like a bald eagle flying with an American flag flapping in the background, or the Rocky Mountains with like star-spangled colors as the sky, or maybe it's the Statue of Liberty, and you know, stuff, you know, true American pictures or whatever, and that'll be the picture in the background. The meme would usually read something along the lines of, you know, if you don't believe in insert American ideal here, then you should just leave our country, or if you don't agree with our Constitution, you should just leave our country. And I would read those and I would chuckle. But I just recently found out, because I've been a little out of the news lately, been spending time with my family, and honestly, playing Pokemon Go, kind of have my head buried in the sand looking for a Diglett. My personal prerogative, I'm allowed to be cut off for a while if I want to, and then still have an opinion. But I haven't seen it, but I have heard, having just pulled my head out of the dirt, that Newt Gingrich recently said something along the lines of how he wants to go like door to door and asking people what they believe. I think he's specifically talking about Sharia law or whatever, and you know, I'm not saying I support Sharia law in any way whatsoever, but his idea, from what I had heard, was ask people if they believe in Sharia law, and if they do, they should be deported. And while on paper you might think, hey, you know, America, you know, that type of religion doesn't belong here, and I agree, Sharia law as it goes does not necessarily mesh with what America's ideals should be. At least a little bit that I know about it. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. The plan of Newt Gingrich's meshes just as little. It just doesn't work, again, with American ideals. Now, and this fits in with those memes that I used to chuckle at. Now, you know, in hindsight, I'm looking back on it after hearing that, going, well, you know, that kind of does fit with those memes. And those memes themselves kind of don't mesh with American ideals. It's like, if you don't agree with American ideals, you should just go ahead and leave our country. Well, you know, if you think about it like that, then change in America would never happen, which means we would never grow as a country. The people would stagnate. Nothing would ever happen here. And that's just a place no one really wants to live in. Well, okay, so maybe a small handful of people wouldn't want to live in, or would want to live there. But, you know, as a whole, people crave new things. They crave change. They need things to change with the times. So when you think about companies, you know, they're always trying to grow. Our country should always try to grow and progress. And, you know, I just lost some views right there. I said progress, and then they're going to key that with progressive, key that with liberal. And, okay, yeah, so I lean a little left of my views sometimes. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen. Maybe it's good to hear what the other side thinks every once in a while, and then you can kind of have a valid argument. But back to what I was talking about. If we don't agree with the Constitution, how are we going to ever make amendments to our Constitution so that it grows with our country and with the people who are in our country? Think about it this way. The Second Amendment didn't used to be there. The Constitution was amended to allow the people to keep their guns, just in case, you know, they needed to stand up against a tyrannical government. They would need the ability to defend themselves against that tyrannical government. So the Second Amendment, as far as I understand it, main function of it was to allow the citizens of America to be armed and protect themselves against said tyrannical government. Hypothetical tyrannical government, right? Okay, so that wasn't originally there. It was amended, it changed because our country was growing in a way and we saw the need for that. And other things too. So yeah, we have to have people here who don't agree with the Constitution. Otherwise, our country will never grow. how are we going to create laws that we need to face new situations if we never change anything? We'll never be able to face any new situation if we don't change it. So yeah, so maybe I don't agree with the Constitution as it stands now, or maybe there's aspects of it I do agree with, but you don't. So that's
Police reported
that's
ahead.
debate. That's debate. That's what our country is actually about. People disagreeing on certain aspects and coming together and arguing about it, and maybe meeting in the middle and compromising and saying, okay, this is how we're going to handle this disagreement in this situation. That is exactly what our country is built on. That is exactly what our country is all about. And to say, oh, well, if you don't agree with the ideals of America, you should just leave, is bullshit. It's stupid. It's dumb. And just stop it. Come up with something better. I know a lot of people that post these, and like I said, I chuckled at them, and they were cute, and I like them, and I like the people that posted them. But I know some of these people, y'all are educated people. Come up with a better argument. Seriously. And as far as going after somebody's thoughts, I have a right to think what I want to think, and you may not like what I think, and what I think might be dark and scary and stupid and strange, but that doesn't necessarily mean I need to be deported. And our country is founded on laws based on actions, not thought. You're supposed to be allowed to think what you want to think. And then when you do something, that's when we come after you. So stop trying to go after what people think. Go after what people actually do. Alright? A politician can stand up in front of you and say, this is what I think, this is what I want, this is what is in my mind. But until they actually do something, don't believe it. Same thing with everyone else. Unless somebody's doing something, it's not actionable by law. I think I've rambled on about this enough for right now. Catch you guys later. Oh, subscribe. Please, subscribe. Watch the next ones. If nothing else, you'll have something to get fuming mad about and post on Facebook. Maybe in a meme.